today's show, we turn our focus to professional basketball with the NBA playoffs right around the corner. We also talk to the Daily Texan about the red-hot men's UT tennis team, and we even talk about some fun we have with the Pick'ems later on. All that and more coming up on the 1-0 Sports Show.
We're going to have an exciting show. We're going to talk about the NFL divisional round and what we expect from it. We talk about Texas's inconsistent start in Big 12 play for men's basketball. We'll finish with some talk about our women's basketball team. So we got a packed show today.
I got to go the other way. You know, Texas A&M, they got a lot of identity issues. Are they an agricultural school? Are they military? Are they blue collar? Are they academics? They're all over the place. So
now, I'm always a sucker for a one-handed catch. I have tiny hands. I need 3 of them just to catch a football. So this one-handed grab in the end zone, that's just super impressive in my eyes. That's going to be my play of the week.
Mayo pour on college game day. Look at this. Just the guy and the North Carolina, South Carolina game. He's just straight eating it, shirt off, rubbing it on his body.
Hey, listen, the Cinderella story ends here, Texans. I'm sorry, man. The chariots turns back into the pumpkin. It struck midnight. Whatever you want to say. I think it ends here.
Today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's Transit. We connect you to work, school, play, and everything in between. Plan your ride to this weekend's game at capmetro.org. And with that being said, we have another great episode today for the 1-0 Sports Show. I'm Michael Alvarez. Joined inside me is Carlos Salinas. Salinas, how you doing this morning?
We're doing pretty good, 10 a.m., really hyped up. It's the weekend. Nothing planned for the weekend. That's why we're here. We're making plans, and I'm very excited to be here. First time on the 1-0 Sports Show. Here at TSTV Sports.
Oh, it's your first time on 1-0 Sports Show. We welcome you here. It's a great show this morning. We always have a lot of fun here today. I had to worry about some of my class registration, but that's out the way now. We can just focus on our show this morning. But we're going to start how we start off everything with the who's hot and who's not. Carlos, who's hot for you this week?
Ooh, that's a very tough choice. With all the sports being around, you got the NBA, the NFL, everything. I got to choose the NBA. The Denver Nuggets, especially, they just came out of the first national title, from the NBA Finals, Nikola Jokic, yeah, he's got a lot of dominance in his game. On top of that, Jamal Murray, being a rising player, good defense, coaching, adaptability. I feel another really big aspect to that is the culture, I feel like culture and just developing the player, it's just something that isn't really talked about as much in the world of sports. It's mostly just player, who scores the most points. But I feel like coaching adaptability and culture drives the team forward rather than backwards.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that. The Nuggets, they just seem to be dominant. They've been dominant the last couple of years, especially with a ring we talked about last semester. Last season. And, they're a thorn in my side to my Lakers. But, I got to agree with the Denver. They will be relevant as long as Nikola Jokic is relevant as well. Me, for my hot, I have to go with the Yankees right now. They are right now the best team in baseball record-wise. They're 10-3, as much as I hate to say it. They go into Houston and Arizona, and they get those series wins. They have a chance to stay on top of that with Marlins and Oakland coming up, which is a good way to keep their schedule hot. And the biggest way the Yankees have been strong this year is, they've strong situational baseball and hot hitting. So the Yankees right now, as much as everyone in Texas probably hates to say it, are the best team in baseball. So there's my who's hot for this week.
Interestingly enough, sorry to cut you off, there's a guy from my high school that actually plays for the New York Yankees. He went to UT, played UT baseball as a pitcher. Aaron Nixon, by any chance, if any of y'all know, any UT alumni, he played UT, went to Mississippi State, now plays for the Yankees. He's not on the roster yet, but he got drafted by the Yankees.
Oh, that's all, man. You got drafted by the. He got drafted.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You're gonna be on the roster eventually.
Of course.
But we'll move on to our who's not. Who's not for you this week?
Ooh, man. That being a very tough decision. Me being really into the NBA because playoffs are gonna happen soon. The finals, very interesting aspect of the world of sports. I'm gonna have to go with the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons. Historically, they've been an all right team. I haven't really won a national title in how many ever years?
2004. So
exactly,
20
almost
years.
20 years exactly. Something very interesting that comes to mind is the 28-game losing streak. That is almost an entire season lost. How terrible is that? It's like saying UT football losing 28 games in a row. It's almost 2 years of not winning. Obviously, circumstances happen, like a season for football at UT is like 12 games, and in basketball is, however many. Exactly. But I feel one of the reasons why the Detroit Pistons haven't been in their prime is simply because I think of the coaching and simply, like I said before, the culture. I think with the Detroit Pistons is that they focus more on youth talent. They focus more on developing these players to become GOATs and to transfer out and to get drafted into another team or however the process goes. As well as the Eastern Conference. It's a very difficult league and conference. It's like saying the SEC, going from the Pac-12 to the SEC. It's a very, very hard conference, and it's getting increasingly difficult. And also draft picks, it's something you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean the Pistons, they're just young.
Of course.
They're in the rebuild. They're in the rebuild process. They haven't been relevant since the early 2000s. They kind of made some noise during the 2010s, maybe around like 2015 to 2018 when they made the playoffs. I think twice between that time. But right now I think they're in a rebuild mode, and so right now they're definitely not going to be the best team in the NBA. For my who's not. As much I hate to say it, the Lakers right now, they had a stretch of being 8-1, and it pushed them back into the playoff picture. And the last 2 games they dropped. One, AD didn't play the last game because he had, it was maybe one of the most wild excuses I've ever seen. He had a headache, so he couldn't play. A headache, couldn't play. So I'm guessing that might have been concussion problems, but a headache and not playing, okay, that's whatever. And then LeBron, there was a story behind it that Darvin Ham gave LeBron his flu-like symptoms because he was sick during practice because LeBron pulled up for the game and was not able to play due to flu-like symptoms. And that was kind of a theory that Darvin Ham was the reason to that. And he's the reason to a lot of our losses this year anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But losing your 2 best players in 2 crucial games hurts you because now they don't have a chance to make the playoffs. They had to be a play-in team. They're a 10 seed right now. They got to win these next 2 games. And they got to hope for the Kings and Warriors to drop one of these next 2 games to even be an 8 seed. So right now the Lakers are my not hot team, but don't worry, don't panic. That is still a team that I think is going to win it all this year. That's just me because I believe it every year that they're going to make it happen. I promise you they're going to make it happen. Everyone doubts us every year, but they're going to find a way to make it happen every year. So
and
that's
of
all
course,
I'm gonna end it with.
something to note is that LeBron James is one of the he is the greatest, but on top of that, he's one of the oldest, the oldest player in the NBA.
Yes.
That's something you got to keep in mind. He's still in his prime. He's still the GOAT. In this era, he's the GOAT. Michael Jordan's the all-time GOAT, in my opinion, right?
No,
I think it is, but
we're not going to argue here, so you can go ahead and finish your take there.
But you also got to take that into consideration, that maybe, as you age, your immune system, stuff like that, the science behind that, it gets a little bit worse,
Right.
That could be a reason.
All right.
Just leaving that out there.
All right. So the immune system, I like that take. So we'll move on from that, and we're going to talk about the Masters because we do have the Masters this weekend. So I don't know if you have a lot of big golf fans out there. I don't know if you keep up with golf. Me, I don't keep up with golf professionally that much. The Masters, I'll click on if I have time to watch a little bit of it. But I guess the biggest thing I'll talk about, who is a top contender for the green jacket this year for you?
Ooh, I'm going to be honest with you. Scotty Scheffler,
that's always a great pick.
He showcased a really strong performance this weekend and at the Masters in 2024. And overall, I think just has a really good shot and winning maybe the Masters, PGA in general. I don't really follow PGA golf that much, but it's a very interesting sport, and it's a very different aspect to athleticism that most of us know.
Yeah, Scheffler right now, he's sitting 3rd. He's 6 under par. He had his round 1. He shot the second best of 66. So right now Scheffler is doing well. I have to go with you. I have to agree with you on that one. But he's always.
Exactly.
He's a premier name in the league. He's always somebody you're going to want to look out for.
And I also feel like his meticulous preparation, especially with his coach Phil Kenyon, highlighted his readiness and precision, making him a top contender for the green jacket as well too.
Well, not to mention he also is a UT alum.
Really?
So he's also somebody you want to look out for as well, and anybody on 40 acres that's going to want to root for.
Of course.
Because right now, him and let me push down to Jordan Spieth, who right now is 7 over par. So we're not going to talk about. He's not having a hot start, so we're not going to put him on blast right now. So we'll move on from him. For me, my biggest takeaway, who I thought was going to be he's not a top contender. He's kind of a slept-on pick. His name it's Joachim Niemann. He, his last 5 tournaments, he's finished top 5, and he has 3 wins to add on to that since November.
It's pronounced Joaquin, by the way.
Joaquin, okay, Joaquin.
Yeah. I call it Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
perfect.
okay. My apologies. Joaquin Neiman. So I mean, he's one of the only two LIV golfers to average at least 2 strokes gained per round this season, which is pretty impressive. Right now, he's sitting 10th. He's -1, so he has some catching up to do. His round 1, he shot a 71. So he has a little bit of catching up to do, but it's golf, you know. It's good days and bad days.
Of course.
And for me, when I play, it's always bad days. But I'm
Same
not a pro, so I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So we'll move on from the Masters and we'll hop back in. We'll start off with some NBA right now. Which NBA playoff team do you think is kind of a dark horse for this year?
Oh, that is a very, very thoughtful and insightful question. You know, I gotta say, with that being said, it's got to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. I feel overall, you know, their shooting percentage, the statistics, you know, they have a really solid chance of being a dark horse this season.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that. They're a hot team in the West, but the only problem with the Timberwolves is I think they're going to hop in that first round. They're going to play an experienced team like maybe the Lakers, the Suns, the Warriors, and they're going to run into inexperience because they're very young. They don't have a lot of playoff experience. They're led by Ant-Man, who, as great as he is, doesn't have a lot of playoff experience, so they might get shell-shocked in that first round. But they do have the talent, and they have had the regular season to get them in that spot because they are fighting for the 1 seed right now.
I feel like they're one of the sleepers, exactly. Like how you're saying, you know, they've been very consistent with their performance, and they surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I had the Timberwolves probably sitting between the 6 and the 7 and the 4 seed at the beginning of the year. But they've surprised a lot of teams, and they're contending for the 1st seed right now. Exactly. So that is a team you do want to look out for. For me, it's a team that hasn't been relevant, in my opinion, since the Dwight Howard days. We're going to talk about the Orlando Magic. They were predicted to actually have a better year this year. They were predicted, I was probably going to say, a play-in team or a very low playoff team, like a 6 seed. But right now they're sitting at 4 in the conference. The only problem is it's tight right now. They could fall as high as they're 5th. I mean, they can fall as low as 8 and go as high as 4. So it's the end of the season, so it's tight. But the thing I like about the Magic so much is they're young and they're gritty and they got a lot of fire right now.
Of course.
I mean, they're led by Pablo Banchero, who's honestly had a stellar season. I mean, he averages 22.5 points a game. Last year he was averaging 26. So I think he's going to sit as a guy that, you know, is going to lead this team to greatness, I think. I mean, I don't think they're going to win it all this year. I mean, they have a chance to make the 2nd round, maybe even the conference final. But just the fact that they have a chance to be a top contending team in the East says a lot about their program and what they're going moving forward. But, yeah, they're my dark horse this year. And that's all we have for our A block, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned as our B block's coming up. We'll be joined by Ryan Hopper to talk about some of our best plays of the week. You don't want to miss it coming up on the 1-0 Sports Show.
Good morning. Welcome back to the 1-0 Sports Show. We move on to everyone's favorite block, our Versus block, where we talk about our big games, our big plays of the week. And right now, we're joined alongside by Ryan Hopper. Ryan, how you doing this morning?
I'm pretty good, a little early, but
Oh, it's always early on the 1-0
It's never too early for the 1-0 Sports Show. What are you talking about?
I agree. So we're going to get right into it with our B1, our best NBA play of the week. Carlos, what do you got?
Wemby. It's got to be Wemby. The play that he did this week was very solid. I think Wemby being the overall draft pick for last season's NBA NFL last season's NBA draft, it was really solid. I feel like he's putting up some amazing numbers, and I feel like he's got potential for the future.
I agree. Wemby is a freak of nature. He's, I'm pretty sure he's nicknamed like the alien because he's that lengthy, that tall, and he can put on the moves. I'm about to show. I also have Wemby this week, but it's a different Wemby play. It's a Wemby kind of a sham god, which he's done twice this year now. If no one knows what the sham god is, it'll be right here. It'll go in. Here, it'll replay. Hopefully, it'll be a little closer. You can see it. Hopefully, it replays. Yeah, right here. So you'll see it's a little closer. He drops it back, puts it there, and hits a spin off of it.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, to be moving like that at that size is already impressive in its own. And I love that he brings out the street ball move with the sham god, invented by the professor. Shout out to the professor. But we have two Wemby plays this week. One's a block. One's kind of a dribble move. Who you got?
Well, okay. First of all, I believe the sham god was created by the man himself, Sham God Wells, as I recall, because that's what the move is named for. However, it is one of the coolest moves out there. Street ball, straight out of the streets of Harlem. Got to give it to Wemby. I mean, he's just a hooper for his size, the way he can move. It's incredible. The block was great, but you expect 7'3" people to make some blocks. So I'm gonna have to give it to you. That was a great highlight.
Oh yeah, Wemby, he can be a street baller.
Of course, that mix between professionalism and like amateurism is very, very insightful, very insane.
That's the beauty of basketball.
Of course.
We're gonna move on to our next one. This is our college hoops. I know we just finished our college hoops with the UConn championship, and we have highlights from the Final Four and the final. Sadly, it comes down. We cannot play it on the big screen for them for copyright reasons, and they're very meticulous on that. So I'll pull up mine on my computer. If you want to, you can also pull yours up on your phone or your computer, whichever one to find your play so we can also all watch it. But I'll pull it up right here. I have Cameron Hyde, and I was watching the game itself, and it was kind of boring in the second half, because it kind of became a blowout. A little bit. Purdue's offense just struggled, and then I saw this, and it was just wow. Okay. So I have this here right now, so you'll see. It's only going to show once, so be aware of what it is.
I remember this.
Oh man,
this putback was nuts.
This was nasty. Wham!
It was nuts.
That boy got up there.
It was nuts because I'm sorry y'all cannot see. It was nuts because he pulls it back. When he catches it, he kind of pulls it back, and then he puts it in, and that was probably the biggest spark offense they had in the entire second half. So yeah, that is my big play of the week.
Well, and I would say that I was watching this in a certain establishment, and I would say that the crowd was kind of split between Purdue and UConn, although no one really cared, especially at that point in the game. But that gave the Purdue people energy. I saw people jump out of seats. This was a probably under 6'5" guard.
Yeah, no, it is.
Perfectly timing his jump for the putback. Tomahawk jam. It was beautiful.
It was very impressive. I have to agree, and that was the only offense they had that entire second half.
Except for Zach Edey.
Yeah,
poor guy couldn't do it himself.
Yeah, 2 blocks in a row against UConn was something very insightful, very insane.
Oh yeah. Do you have the clip by chance? Or is it
not at the moment. No.
Not at the moment. Yeah. So it's a shame with this will be our last time using any March Madness clips. So it's a shame that we can't show the audience and the fans our clips. But it's just we can explain it as best as we can, and that's just all we can do for y'all. We apologize for that. But we'll move on to our best baseball play of the week, MLB or college. Carlos, what you got?
Oof. Best MLB or college play of the week. I would say Bobby Witt Jr. Hurdled by teammates, but still gets out at first. I think that is very One of the most.
Oh my
okay, wow.
Exactly.
Oh,
that is what I said. I think that is one of the best plays.
The second baseman.
Oh my
Exactly.
God!
Oh my
He leaped him.
goodness.
The fact that they still threw him out too. That's
wow.
That was one of the best plays I've seen this week. Maybe this year. You know, it's just you don't really see that too often.
Oh yeah, he leaped over his own man.
Wow.
And that's why you call ball. That's
Yeah.
why you call ball.
Yeah.
That's why you call ball. So they obviously that's a heck of a play, and it's impressive that he was able to compose himself still and get the out at first.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And then I have another wild pick here. I'm talking to Ellie De La Cruz in the park home run. Now, look, so the biggest reason it happened is right here. The middle fielder, he missed the ball. So it's already fallen back, but it's still generational speed he put on here. Because it took a while to get there.
He can fly,
He can fly. He recorded the best time around base this year and last year. But in the park home run in the majors is unheard of. You see that in 13U kids. You don't see that in college. You don't ever see that. Barely ever see that in high school. But in the majors and in the park home run is impressive on its own. That's incredible speed, and that's my baseball player of the week. Ryan, what you got?
So this is tight. I love both of these players. These are two young, up-and-coming stars of the game. I feel like people know about Ellie De La Cruz. Oh, they're both shortstops, too.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr., if you don't know about him, just because he isn't on – well, actually, they're a better team this year, but he was on a bad team last year. There's a reason he got $300+ million.
Yeah.
This dude is a star. He's going to be a 40 home run guy a year from shortstop. I'm going to have to go with the Royals play because typically what you have is if there's a ball up the middle like that with the middle infielders, it's harder to call. It's not like a fly ball where you have time for I got it. So usually the second baseman or whoever is the second baseman, if he has to get out of the way, he usually just hits the deck instead of hurdling the shortstop. That is incredible. And the only reason I love Ellie De La Cruz too, but I can't give it to you only because that would have been probably not even a double if the center fielder didn't try to be a hero in a one-run game.
Yeah.
So, and believe it or not, I think he did hit it inside the park last year because he's just so fast.
No, he's
extremely
fast.
I'm going to have to go with Bobby Witt Jr. And shout out the second baseman. I don't know his name. What an play of athleticism to jump over a dude who's over 6 foot. So
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that. That's pretty impressive. We'll move on to our best other sports highlight of the week. And so this one's kind of, it's anything we don't have baseball, basketball. You kind of go into soccer, NHL, stuff like that. Sports that aren't as mainstream and talked about as much. We hop onto this one right here. So, Carlos, what you got?
Ooh, well, I kind of failed on this assignment a little bit. You know, I ended up putting college football because that's one of the extra things of expertise that I'm pretty good at.
Okay.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May going to be attending the NFL draft. I think, Caleb Williams, he's going to be a first-round pick
Most
because at USC did phenomenal work. Jalen Daniels as well. He came to UT for the Travis Scott merch. I saw Jalen Daniels in person, and it was just so crazy seeing him and Travis Scott together. On top of that, him playing for what is it, LSU? LSU transferring to KU. Phenomenal performance. Drake May with UNC, right? UNC, phenomenal performance as well. Minimal interceptions, great field work, hand-to-eye coordination, situational awareness. All these qualities, I think, will make all of them good candidates for first-round, second-round picks.
Yeah, I'm probably, with the Bears trading Justin Fields, obviously, I think in their projected first round, the number one pick, I think they're picking up Caleb Williams, number one.
Unfortunately.
And then, Jaden Daniels and Drake May will probably also be first-round picks. That's most likely, I'm assuming, why they're all going to the draft.
Yep.
So, it's exciting to see. This is the new young talent in the NFL, so.
Especially with, Lincoln Riley, the head coach at USC, phenomenal performance, putting consistent numbers into players going into the NFL draft.
He's an offensive mind.
Of course, but it kind of sucks that this season, USC didn't really live up to the hype that they expected to. It's kind of a shame. Caleb Williams, last season playing? Yeah. He did good, but overall, performance-wise, the team could have done way better.
Well, it is Lincoln Riley, and the death of all Lincoln Riley teams will be his defense. He can have generational offenses. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
But the defense is what will be his Achilles heel. So, what are you going to do?
It can't stop a nosebleed. They're just they're trash.
It was, and as much as we love slandering Lincoln Riley, we're gonna get off of it right now, and we'll move on to my play of the week. I have Rangers Devil. It's a hockey match. Right when the puck drops, they start fighting. Watch. Look, drops the gloves, and here we go. He's got, you want a box? Let's box. And here we go. Now they start squaring up. The one thing I love about hockey is that the refs are going to let you fight. It's part of the game. Yeah. They're going to sit there and they're going to start fighting. So they're going to start. The funniest part about the play itself is that it happened as soon as the game started. So obviously this came from just pre-game beef and pre-game drama, and they just start fighting, and that's the whole clip. They literally just start boxing. So, and then sadly from the angles it didn't show everybody else, but literally the entire team had a brawl. He dropped the gloves and he went straight to somebody and they started fighting. Those two guys were on the back end. They started fighting. The people behind them started fighting. So it was just an entire brawl. There must have had to have been some type of drama, some type of beef pregame to fight as soon as the game starts. But yeah, that's my play of the week.
Is there a chance that this could have been staged? You think so?
Well, no. Hockey. The thing about hockey is they know they can fight because the refs they're gonna sit there and let you fight until it seems like it could get out of hand, and then they'll break it up and send it to the penalty box and stuff like that. But it could be staged. I don't know, but it's hockey though. It's a violent sport, so I'm glad that they have fighting.
Well, so for context, so it was not pregame beef. It was from a previous game. So these are arch rivals. This is New York and New Jersey, and so I forget his first name, but Rempe of the Rangers, I think about a week before, came in and hit one of the Devils' best players with a very dirty hit up against the boards. And so in hockey, it's a game of respect, and usually respect comes when you take the gloves off. Yeah. And so typically, though, it's only one guy. It's an enforcer it's usually protecting the younger guys or the smaller guys or the best guys. Mm-hmm. But that was just a line brawl. Like, that was lit. There's a reason why it was my highlight for last week for this. Like, it was the aerial shot.
Oh,
no, you didn't know.
I thought it was. I didn't know it was a week ago. I thought it happened recently.
No, but it was still like that's what hockey's all about. And you'll take your 5 minutes in the box to prove a point.
Yeah.
Because it's not like your team goes a man down because the guy you fought with also is going to the box for 5 minutes. So even though it was not this week, I think that was just such a cool fight and just a showcasing of a rivalry that I'm gonna have to go with your highlight. With that being said, the draft. I mean, they're not just gonna be first round picks. They're probably gonna be 1, 2, and 3 overall.
There's a high chance that happens.
Like you said, with the Bears, unfortunately, Caleb Williams will not be coming home to the D.C. area. I'm devastated. But we're gonna have the Commanders are gonna have our choice probably of Daniels and May. There's a big debate over who we're going to take between Daniels and May. Do you want the speed guy? Do you want more of a pocket passer? I probably want Daniels with the modern NFL.
In modern NFL, you know, the pocket passer will die. If you can't get out of the pocket and make something happen, then you will die in there. So
which he can to an extent. Like, they comped him to Herbert. We'll see. Yeah, the Patriots need a quarterback at 3. So they're probably going to go 1, 2, or 3 unless any of those teams are, in my opinion, dumb enough to pick J.J. McCarthy.
It's Belichick. Belichick likes a pocket passer, so there's a big chance that Drake May does go 3rd. So we'll hop off the NFL right now. We can get our spills later next year when the NFL draft happens and the NFL season starts, and we'll give you all our great spills then. But we'll move on to our final highlight of the week, and it's the biggest blooper, our worst ref mistake. And this is honestly my favorite. I think I have a pretty funny one because Carlos, you can go first.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think personally, Luka and Kyrie in the layup line pregame against the Charlottesville Hornets. I feel that is one of the most. Just looking at it's just very funny. He misses it, right?
Oh yeah, it's Luka. He's not going to knock that down.
Of course. But it's just it shows that these players are human and they're not perfect all the time, and they're prone to mistakes, especially dumb mistakes. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, very, very funny.
Well, I mean, it's Luka. Luka will dunk sometimes in game, but Kyrie. So Kyrie dunking in a game is a very rare sight.
Oh yeah.
He'll do it sometimes. Sometimes the putback. But yeah, that I do love that play of the week. I mean, it's funny because obviously they weren't intending on making it. They were intending to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
That's what makes it really funny. And then my biggest blooper is not a single play. It's a performance and a half. like it was 2016. Draymond Green hit 5. He went 5 for 5 against the Lakers in the first half behind the line. Now, he hasn't hit multiple threes in a game since Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. And it's...
Wow.
I was so... The Golden State shot so well in the first half. They had 26 threes in the game total, but 5 coming from Draymond.
That's crazy.
Should not be... Oh, Jesus. It's like, here, I'm going to show you all 5 because it's at the same time, it's like, let him shoot. It's Draymond.
Oh, what a pass. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no, it's like we'll live with the Draymond, but we'll live with a Draymond knockdown. But 5 in the first half was oh my goodness. I was watching the game and I was so stunned by it. It's like, what is this? Did we just fall back in time 8 years back to the 2016 finals with Draymond, or 2016 season with Draymond actually knocking down shots? It was that is a fluke. That will not happen in the next lifetime. In this lifetime, I think again. So that would have to be my biggest blooper of the week, just off that performance alone. But what you got? This is our deciding factors. It is 2-2.
This is a tough one. So I think only because not just like back in the day, Draymond, but like even back in 2016.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't
hitting 5 threes in a game, much less a half. I thought Luka and Kyrie were very funny. I hadn't seen that. But you know what? People mess around in warm-ups, like at every level of basketball. And like the NBA, they can get away with more because who's going to really check Luka and Kyrie, 2 of the best players on the team, 2 of the best players in the league. So I'm going to have to give it to you. I mean, I'm mad if my buddy is playing as the Warriors in 2K and he kicks it out to Draymond and I give him the shot. I'm like, you got it.
Every time.
Like, you got it. And if he makes it, I'm like 2K, come on, like we got to get real here, you know. And then in real life, I was expecting like all open threes, like, you know, if you're playing pickup, like, you know, someone can't really shoot, you're like, we all right with that shot. But the last 3 shots, they stepped up. They started closing out.
And he kept knocking them down.
Yeah,
so it was like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, good for you, Draymond. 5 threes. You didn't get ejected. You didn't elbow anybody.
I feel like
what a game.
Sometimes just stuff is a fantasy, and it turns out it's one of those moments where it's not a fantasy. It's like me going on a date with Kylie Jenner. It's a fantasy. It's not going to happen, but there's a slight chance it will happen.
Oh, okay, Carlos.
Tell him.
Okay, Carlos.
Tell him, Carlos.
You heard that. It's not a 99.
Folks, he is shooting for the stars.
He has a less than 1% chance, but it is a possibility, just like Draymond. I think that's a higher possibility than Draymond ever doing this again.
Oh, of course.
So that's why we're going to stick with it. But we're going to end the block there, but don't go anywhere because Ryan is not leaving us. Next block, we're going to have some interview with him about the UT men's tennis team, who's been red hot, so you're not going to miss it. Coming up on the 1-0 Sports Show. welcome back to the One and O Sport. Welcome back to the One and O Sports Show. We are still joined alongside by Ryan Hopper, who is our men's tennis beat, about a red hot. I think you just added a second ago. 9-0 on a 9-0 run right now. Being very great. I guess ball. I mean, I guess that's the way I can say. I don't know about tennis, but playing great ball. So we'll move on to our first question, as we'll kind of back and forth our questions here. For the people who don't follow tennis, which might be a lot, who are the main players to know for the Longhorns?
Well, so you got a couple of main contributors. So first of all, for people who don't know how it works, you have 7 points in a game. So obviously, like a 7-game series, you need to get 4 points to win the match. So 6 of those are decided in singles, and so you have your 6 guys in your singles lineup. And then right before singles, the doubles point is decided. So you have 6 guys for doubles because you have 3 doubles pairings. If 2 of the 3 doubles pairings wins, you get the doubles point, and then you get a point for each singles matchup. So doubles, not exactly their strong suit, even though the Horns have many great individual players, but singles, they have it locked down. The top 3 of the lineup, Elliot Spizzirri, #1 singles player in the nation, Micah Braswell, #3 singles player in the nation, and then Gilles Arnaud-Bailey. He is a little underrated in my opinion. Last I checked, he was ranked 40th in the nation, but he's making a bid for Big 12 Freshman of the Year. I believe he's 12-3 in dual match play. So those are some of your key contributors. Cleve Harper, CM Wooldeeb, these are veterans who are kind of like the heart and soul of the team, glue guys. They have a lot of good players, and they could really make a run this year.
I don't know a lot about tennis, but I do know it's a team sport, but it's also an individual sport. And like you said, they dominate in the individual aspect of the game. So obviously, if they can keep that up, then they can be a great team going on. But we have our next question here. Carlos, you can go ahead and spit it.
Okay, so what is the confidence level for this team right now heading into the Big 12 championship this week? What do you think?
So they have senior night tomorrow. It's senior day. Tomorrow at 1 at home against Baylor. Show out to the Texas Tennis Center. I'm sure they'll have some kind of a food deal like they usually do. But so Big 12 tournament is next weekend in Stillwater, and I think confidence should be high. They are undefeated in conference play. If they win tomorrow, obviously, they'll win the regular season crown. I believe they won the Big 12 tournament last year. They are a solid team. I would say doubles could let them down, because I would say they've probably only gotten the doubles point 50 to 60% of the matches this year, but they've recovered in singles. TCU is favored to win the conference, but TCU has 2 conference losses. The Frogs are probably the main team threatening Texas, maybe OU as well. But so it's going to be tight. Anything could happen in tournament play, but I'd back the Longhorns to get it done. I think they'll get it done in Stillwater and win the regular season and win the Big 12 postseason crown.
Oh, yeah, well, let's hope so, because, I mean, we are in the race right now, like every year for the Directors' Cup. So any championship at any level is going to be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, let's all go out there and support our Longhorns for that next week. So we'll move on to our next one. What is the biggest strength for this team heading into their matchup with Baylor tomorrow?
Well, so Baylor is pretty good as well. I think they could make possibly a surprise run in Stillwater, but I think with the Horns are going to take this home. Again, maybe not get the doubles point, but singles, I have a hard time believing that any Baylor Bear is going to win on the top 3, facing Gilles, Elliott, and Micah. And then even lower in the singles lineup, you have I forgot to mention the team is 2 pairs of brothers. So Gilles Arnaud-Bailey is from Belgium. His brother Pierre is also from Belgium. And then Micah Braswell, who I've mentioned, his brother Jonah transferred in. So you got a tight brother connection. Pierre and Jonah are a little further down the lineup, but they're very good considering where they are in the lineup. And I wouldn't be surprised if against Baylor and in some of these Big 12 tournament games that they win 5 or even all 6 of the singles games. So singles is what's going to make or break it for this Texas team. And if they get the doubles point too, that's an added bonus.
Okay, that's good. And before we hop into this last question, can you kind of explain how the postseason is that works for tennis so the viewers out there would understand a little better?
Conference tournaments are pretty similar. They're, instead of being held to basketball, but instead of being held at a neutral site, just because there aren't as many tennis facilities, it's rotated between each Big 12 school. So it's in Stillwater. It's at Oklahoma State this year. Very typical setup. I believe certain teams like Texas will get a first-round bye, and possibly OU or TCU. And then the NCAA tournament is 2 weeks after the conference tournament next weekend. and it is the exact same format basically as women's basketball. So if you're a top-rated team, you're going to get your round of 64 and round of 32 games at home. Texas will almost certainly get that. And then you're going to a neutral site. And so I believe this year, like last year, it's in Orlando again. And so I believe that is the Sweet 16 on. It's not like it's going to be you're going somewhere for the regionals and then you're going somewhere different for the Final Four. I'm pretty sure it's just all played back-to-back. And then after that, you have the doubles tournament, which is you send your best doubles pairings and see how many qualify, and they play like a round of 64, same as, basketball March Madness. And singles will do the same thing. And so I think that both Micah Braswell and Elliot Spizzirri could definitely take home a singles title. Elliot will probably go pro after this year. He's a senior. He'll be recognized tomorrow. They have a lot of great seniors, Cleve Harper, Ishan Talluri. And so pop out tomorrow for the Baylor match. It's going to be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fanfare. And I just recognize some of the seniors' great contributions to this program. And I personally think Texas could take home the Natty this year. They've been in the Final Four 3 out of the past 4 years. They won the national championship despite a coaching change midway through the 2019 season. They're a very solid team with a very solid coach.
All right, well, that answered our last question before we could even answer it. Was this team going to do well in the postseason? I guess we'll add one more thing to that. What is the key factor to them actually performing really well in the postseason when it comes to it?
I would say just, guys being locked in for singles. 6 of the 7 available points are in singles. I believe that their singles lineup is good enough to where even if they drop the doubles point, they can beat most teams. And I think at a bare minimum, they'll go to the Elite Eight, and probably with Bruce Burke's proven track record, who I just wrote a feature on, by the way, is in the flip book of the Daily Texan this week. I think that they will overwhelmingly likely to make the Final Four. As I've said, they've done so through the past 4 years. And, I think personally, I think this could be a team of destiny. Bruce Burke called them a generational team in my interview, and they are a very cohesive team. They're all good friends. I think the tower could be lit up pretty soon for another Texas National Championship.
Well, you heard it here first. Watch out for the lit tower, as we all hope to see that #1 shining with it as well. So go out there and support your men's tennis team, as they're going to try and bring it home to the 40 acres. But that's all we have for our interview section on the C Block. We'll move on to NBA trivia next. But first, we'll thank Ryan for coming on this morning. Ryan did a great job. We appreciate the insight on the men's tennis team.
Appreciate being here. Yeah.
But yeah, no, you don't want to go anywhere because we got a fun segment coming up next. All coming up on the One No Sports Show.
morning and welcome back to the 1-0 Sports Show. As we are now joined alongside by one of our executive producers, Manny Ramirez.
Let's
Manny,
do it. Yes,
how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm ready to test y'all's NBA playoff knowledge.
NBA trivia.
Trivia is what we have going on right now.
Oh yeah, great segment. I'm excited. Let's pop the questions and let's try and find a way to win.
Okay, let's do it. You ready to go? Cool. All right. First one. All right, here we go. And we'll probably have the graphic come up right now in a little bit. Who holds the record for most points in a playoff game, and how many points was it? Okay. A is LeBron James with 58. B is Jordan with 63. C, James again, but with 65. Or D, Wilt Chamberlain with 70. He had that fake 100-point game that we have yet to see the footage of. We have yet to see footage of the 100-point game. But is it 1, James was 58, Jordan was 63, James was 65, or Chamberlain with 70?
Well, I already know you put LeBron in there, so I already know 1 and 3 is not the right answer. First of all, LeBron's season high and points total high is 61, so it could have been 65.
Okay.
58, LeBron has never scored 58 plus points in a playoff game. I know that for sure. Okay. Now I know for a fact MJ scored 63 against the Celtics back in '86, I think, something like that.
Okay.
But and then I think you're trying to throw in Wilt Chamberlain to throw us off because you just don't know with Wilt because he just randomly throws up incredible performances. So I'm stuck between 2 and 4.
Wilt Chamberlain was playing against plumbers and the electricians.
So I don't know because I know the 63-point game happened. I know that for a fact. I just don't know about 70.
Okay. Carla, what are you thinking right now? What's going on in your head right now?
Wilt Chamberlain is like a legendary player. You know,
right.
He played for the Lakers back in the 60s against plumbers and electricians. Back when the league wasn't as poppin' as it is today. I'm gonna have to go with Wilt Chamberlain. That 100-point game that we have yet to see. There's a possibility.
Okay.
He could have scored 70.
He's going Chamberlain for 70.
Oh man, I feel like it happened. I really do feel like 70 happened, but I don't want to give him the same answer. And I know 63 happened.
I mean, they're both really good answers,
I'm gonna go Wilt Chamberlain at 70 though.
You're gonna go Wilt Chamberlain 70.
So double Wilt Chamberlain.
The correct answer is B. Michael Jordan with 63 points. Wilt Chamberlain never scored 70 in the playoffs. So we are now we're still tied 0-0. I really thought you were gonna go with the safe answer, but you decided to swing for the fences, and I love it. That's why we're here right now.
I literally explained the whole question.
You learn something new every day.
That's why we're here right now. All right, so here, check this out. Number 2, here we go. Who has the best playoff winning percentage in NBA history? A is Ron Harper. B is Dennis Rodman. C, Steph Curry. Or D, Manu Ginobili. Shout out to Charles Barkley for that one.
I'm pretty sure that the Spurs in their own have the best playoff, as a franchise, have the best playoff win percentage. I know it's not Steph Curry. Dennis Rodman was on all those championship Bulls teams. Or
a lot of wins in the playoffs.
I don't think he was there for all 6. I think he was just there for 3. So,
but he also was with the Bad Boy Pistons, and they themselves played a lot of playoff basketball.
But the Spurs, whenever they were in the playoffs, they went all the way, or they went as far as the 3rd round. So, and Manu Ginobili was there from I think 03 to whenever he retired.
He was there for most. I think he has 4.
Dennis Rodman played with the Bulls, right, with Michael Jordan, right?
Right, yeah.
I can't tell you anything about Ron Harper, though. I know he was on that Bulls team as well.
My pick is going to be Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Simply because, from what I know about my basketball history, MJ hasn't lost a title, an NBA title. He has not folded, unlike LeBron. I feel like...
Oh.
Hey, no shade. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying the facts here.
Straight stray.
I'm just going to say, based off that, I feel he has the best playoff winning percentage.
Okay, so we got Rodman on one side.
I think Ron Harper and Rodman would have a similar one, so I feel like they can't be the same. I'm going to go with Manu Ginobili.
You're going to go with Manu.
I'm going to go with Manu.
So we have Rodman and Manu, right? Okay, great. Correct answer is A, Ron Harper. Yeah, we're cooking today. We are cooking today.
Oh, man.
I want y'all to know I made these and I
man.
showed them to the other executives. Shout out TJ in the back along with Sam as well, controlling everything. Y'all are great. But I showed TJ, and TJ went, there's no way I go 5 for 5 on these. And I said, that's how I like it. Perfect. So we're cooking today, man. We are cooking today. But here we go. It's still 0-0, so it's anybody's game, right? It's still 0-0. So here we go.
There will be.
Number 3. Again, playoff basketball, right? So who holds the record for the most rebounds in a single NBA playoff game, right? So here we go. Here's the graphic. Number 1, is it Tim Duncan with 45? Is it Joel Embiid with 40? Is it Giannis with 37? Or Wilt with 41? Wilt Chamberlain, a lot of these, man. But again, he played against plumbers and electricians, so.
Did Tim Duncan get 45 in a game? No way.
Hey, young Timmy was like that, man. I'm
I
tired
agree,
of
though.
I'm
Young
tired of
Timmy
people starting to disrespect young Timmy or Timmy as a whole. Tim Duncan was like that.
But 45, I feel like that would get talked about. I feel like
45 is a crazy number.
I feel like that'd get talked about a lot more. I don't think it's Joel, and I don't think it's Giannis. I want to stick with Wilt because one of these has to be Wilt, and Wilt just put up crazy numbers against plumbers and electricians. I feel like I'm stuck between Tim and Wilt, but I just can't believe 45 in a single game.
But 41 on the other side, for Wilt.
It's more believable because it's who Wilt win against, but Tim, he was a generational player. And
Oh, my God. All these stump me.
I'm just going to have to guess Tim Duncan just right off the bat.
Okay, cool. I like it. Quick hitter. You matching? You
I know you're a
change it.
Spurs fan.
2.
I am a Spurs fan.
One.
I am a Spurs fan, but I
You would
shout out
know-
the Spurs.
But I'm in a playoff game though. I mean, it's Wilt's crazy numbers generationally, But in playoffs, I don't know if he did it.
Right, but
He's
again,
adding those curveballs there. in the
plumbers,
playoffs.
electricians, right? You still played the plumbers and electricians in the playoffs. They just played more basketball.
Yeah, it was just
So-
Tim Duncan at 45.
Like you said,
It's hard to sit there and believe
if you
that.
see 45, I feel like that'd be talked about a lot.
I want to say. I just don't think it's Joel or Giannis. I
Okay,
don't think it's those
okay,
two. So I
okay.
really am stuck between 1 and 4, and I'm gonna go with 4. I'm gonna go with Wilt Chamberlain with 41 in a playoff game because I think Wilt had 2-3 rings, I think.
Okay.
So he definitely played the playoffs a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Wilt. I'm gonna go with Wilt. 41.
Duncan and Chamberlain, ding, ding, ding. It is Wilt Chamberlain with 41. Tim Duncan never had 45 in a playoff game. He got close, but never above 41. That is the record for the most rebounds in a game. Again, plumbers and electricians. We should really try to find the 100-point footage. I dare you. Please, somebody. All right, here we go. Number 4. Who holds the record for the most triple-doubles in playoff history? So, again, you got to think about who's gone to the playoffs a lot, right? Who's been able to work really well. But I know y'all see Jokic, but Jokic has pretty much like averaged a triple-double since he really became him like that. You know what I mean? So is it the glorious king, LeBron James? Is it A, Magic Johnson? Again, B is LeBron James. C, Nikola Jokic. Or D, again, Wilt Chamberlain.
I'm not going to go Wilt this time. Jokic is a walking triple-double.
He is.
But for the most triple-doubles in playoff history, he hasn't been in the playoffs enough to really do that.
Okay.
So it sits between Magic and LeBron. Now, I'm a huge LeBron fan, and I know LeBron in his earlier years, he wasn't. The thing is, Magic Johnson was dropping triple-doubles like it was nothing throughout his entire career. LeBron, I think in his stretch with the Heat and the Cavs when he dropped his most triple-doubles, because, screw it. He was in 2015, I think he was averaging a triple-double in the finals. So, but, I just don't think LeBron, I'm going to go A, Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Likewise here, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson on both sides. We're doubling down on Magic Johnson. And it is correct. It is correct. It is Magic Johnson. I believe he has 30 total triple-doubles in playoff history. LeBron is second. LeBron is second in that. So we'll see if he's able to get back into the playoffs and maybe make a hero run in these next couple years.
Yes, he will.
All right. So now, check it out. So it's 2-1, right? But we're going to switch it up a little bit. This is not worth 1 point. This is worth up to potentially 10 points.
Oh, Jesus.
So anybody's game. Here is the question. Can you name me as many as you can of the top 10 three-pointers made in playoff history, each for a point? So the players in the top 10 of the most three-pointers made in playoff history. For each one that you get, it is a single point. So I think what we'll do right now, right, is on y'all's devices, I want y'all to just start listing off some names, right, so that we can kind of keep this as a list. And so that, you know, we can make sure nobody's changing answers after the fact. But I have 10 players here.
And this is in the playoffs alone.
This is in the playoffs alone, yes.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, there are some obvious answers. There are certainly some obvious answers, but there are some others that you're like, really? So, but just think about like all-time great shooters, some of the legends of the game. Let's see. I mean, a couple people who.
I'm going to cap it at 10. So I'm going to cap my
Okay,
answers at 10.
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So I'm thinking of two more. This is tough.
It is tough.
Because I think we got Ryan over there.
We got Ryan playing off screen.
We're all going to throw a list.
Everybody's trying to figure it out. This is what I love, man. Love trivia segment. It's always so good. Get to test that little crevice in your brain about who really has what. But again, legends of the game, you know, people who can really shoot it from beyond the arc, you know. So just kind of think about that. Again, the top 10. I'll tell you some other names, just kind of make this a little bit easier, that are outside of the top 10. So sitting right at 11 is Kobe. 12 is Derek Fisher. 13, Paul Pierce. 14, Chauncey Billups. Shout out Chauncey. 15, Robert Horry.
Oh, I was going to put that, but I didn't.
16, Paul George.
Okay.
17, Kyle Korver. 18, CP No Rings.
That's about two.
19 is Jason Kidd. And number 20 is Kawhi Leonard. So that is from 11 to 20 on the all-time three-pointers made in playoff history.
Well, the funniest part about that is none of those players made my list, but they all popped in my mind.
Wow. All right.
So it makes me feel I feel a little more confident now. So I guess I'll go ahead.
Go for it.
If you want, I'll go first. My list is significantly shorter. It'll take 5 seconds. I guarantee you won this one.
Okay.
So, Splash Bros.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry.
Yep.
James Harden. That's my list.
Okay.
All right,
you know, I thought Kawhi Leonard was
fair.
going to be on there when he played with the Spurs a long time ago. He was a very prominent figure. So I'm surprised he's not even there.
So let's give 3 here because you got them all right. Okay.
Well, I also had those 3 on my list. I had Curry, Klay, and James. Now, it almost slipped my mind. I'm saying for the last. I don't know how it almost slipped my mind. He's been in the league for 100 years. LeBron. I think LeBron's sitting there somewhere. And then I also have Ray Allen, Steve Kerr, Reggie Miller, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Mike Miller. That's the rest of my list.
I should have gotten Dirk Nowitzki. Bro.
So
you can just look at it if you
right.
don't remember.
So
Yeah.
you got Reggie Miller correct on that. Obviously, Curry at number 1. Klay right behind him at number 2. James at number 3. LeBron. 4 is Harden. 5, Ray Allen. 6, Kevin Durant.
Oh, I forgot about
Kevin Durant.
How did I forget about
6.
KD?
Number 7, Ginobili at number 7. Number 8, Reggie Miller. And check this out. Number 9, shout out to the man himself, Mr. Danny Green.
Oh my God!
Danny Green,
about Danny
number
Green.
9. Yeah, Danny Green. Again, another Spurs legend. Had that wonderful, I think it was game 2 or 3 possibly. I know it was at the AT&T Center or arena there in San Antonio. That was 2013 when they went against the Heat. He shot lights out. He was unconscious from beyond the arc. Number 9, Danny Green, and then number 10. Anything is possible. J.R. Smith is at number 10.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got Ryan in the back freaking out right now about the people he's missed. But J.R. Smith at number 10 to round out the list. Shout out to J.R. Smith, NBA champion over there with the Cavaliers. But that is our top 10.
I went 60, but I went 60. I got 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I respect it. And I appreciate the attempt. Absolutely. But yes, shout out, the winner is Mike. He has the ball knowledge. This man knows ball.
Ball knower.
He's balling everywhere, man.
He's balling everywhere.
Ball knower.
But we will be right back. That is the end of our trivia segment. Shout out to Mike for the win. But we will come right back. We have our Pick'em segment, so you don't want to go anywhere here on the One No Sports Show.
Welcome back to the 1L Sports Show. We're on our Pick'em segment. So this is some people's favorite segment, and we're going to talk about our Pick'em's games of the week and who we have winning. Remember, at the end of the semester, TJ, shout out him. I still take him up on his my last semester win. He will take out whoever has the best percentage, something to eat. I need it just to show the ultimate ball knower what he can do. So we'll hop into it.
Let's do it.
We'll hop into it quick here. We have NBA. We have Magic at 76ers. Remember, Joel Embiid just came back.
Yep.
Let's go with Magic at 76ers. Carlos, who you got?
76ers.
76. No questions asked.
question.
All right,
No
Manny,
easy.
Who you got?
I like the song. Give me the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Yeah. Orlando Magic. Yeah. Oh. Give me the Magic on this one. I like it. They're on the road. That's fine. I think they're playing really well. Banchero's playing really great ball right now. Give me the Magic in this one.
I have to agree with that. I think the 76ers are a little raw right now when Embiid was out that long, and it's going to take more than a game for him to get back in the swing of things. So I think right now I got to go with the Magic as well. I think they're a little hot. So
all right.
There we go. Moving on to our next NBA game, we have the Pacers at the Cavaliers. I have to go with the Cavs myself. The Pacers are, they're a very slept-on team.
They are. Yeah.
They're very underrated, but I think the Cavs, especially in Cleveland, have more firepower than the Pacers do. So I'm going to go with the Cavs. Carlos.
Cavs as well. I feel like Pacers as well. Very kind of a sleeper. They're kind of underrated. They got some key players, but I feel like Cleveland's got enough force to potentially damage everyone else and to potentially who knows make the playoffs. So that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Let's make it a sweep. I'll go Cavs as well. I think they're playing again good ball as well. They're at home, so I like that a little bit more, especially with two teams who are kind of, I would say, on the same level in terms of just kind of their ability to play in the NBA. But I like the home team in this one just a little bit more. They are more comfortable in their stadium. The Cavs Nation normally likes to show out really well, so I'll take the Cavaliers in this one.
All right, in our third NBA game, this is a good one. We have the Bucks at the Thunder. Now, these are the 2 and 3 teams in their respective conferences.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Thunder myself. I think the Bucks, ever since they hired Doc Rivers, they have had a losing record. They are trying to figure it out. Now, I don't know why you hire that choke fraud.
Yeah, that's a big question.
I'm going to go with the Thunder, are a very hot young team, and they have something to play for. They want to try and find that second or first seed because they still have the chance to do it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Thunder because they have a lot more to play for than the Bucks do, and they're at home. So Thunder. Manny?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Thunder as well in the West. The seeding's really tight. I think they're separated by maybe a game, maybe even a game and a half. So I think this one's going to be real important for the Thunder. Also, huge thing to note, Giannis calf strain will be out for some time. Yeah, okay, Giannis went down with a calf strain. So he's going to be out, probably shut down till they get into the playoffs. So I think the Bucks just don't have the same kind of firepower and just presence inside when you don't have Giannis and you don't worry about some 6 foot whatever, 200 and monster pound dude coming at you straight down the lane. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Thunder. Shout out to Shea, playing some really good basketball right now, making a legitimate case for a possibly dark horse MVP run. But I'm going to go with the Thunder in this one. They're going to try to get into that 1 seed.
Carlos?
I feel like we're all going on the same bandwagon. OKC.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
They got talent. They have Josh Giddey. They got who else? Who else is in the team?
Yeah. So you, along with Shea and Giddey, you also have Chet, who.
Oh yeah, Chet. He's in the Rookie of the Year race right now with Wemby.
He's not in the Rookie of the Year.
He's there.
He's there.
He's number 2. In a normal year, yeah, that's fair, but he's still a different man.
Vegas just today was like, there's no more odds offered for Rookie of the Year race because it's Wemby's. It's no. Anyways, I can get on my soapbox later. Y'all can follow me on Ramirez Reports on Twitter and just hear my rants about Wemby. But we'll move on to the next one.
All right, we'll get past that. We'll move on to our next game. Now, this is a big one. These next 2 games are big for the play-in factor for the Western Conference.
Definitely.
You have the Pelicans at the Warriors. I really need the Pelicans. To win this game. So I want to just go with the Pelicans. So I'm going with the Pelicans.
Okay. Carlos?
Golden State, they still have one of their key players, Steph Curry, playing in the game.
Yeah.
One of the what is he top leading 3-pointers in the playoffs, right? Yeah. He's got some talent. I feel like the hype isn't there as it used to be, but I feel like I have more faith in them than the New Orleans Pelicans, in my opinion.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors on this one. I know that hurts the Kings' chances, but in this sense, I don't think the Pelicans have really been able to kind of gel all that well. They had a really good win recently. I want to say that was against maybe even the Magic. I can't be super sure right now, but I don't think they have enough firepower to be able to compete, especially when they're playing there in the Bay Area. So that's a bit of a flight from New Orleans all the way out to California. I'll take the Golden State Warriors in this one just for the fact of they have that X factor in Curry and they're playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say the Warriors, but I think
But you need the Pelicans.
I need the Pelicans to win, and I think they just burned out enough threes in the last game against the Lakers that they're not going to shoot something this game. They burned out, so I'm really hoping that's a factor there.
Ball knower right here.
But we're going to move on to the next one for another big one. I need the Suns to win this one. We have the Suns at the Kings.
Okay. Yeah.
Now the Suns are already them and the Pelicans. They're not locked in the play-in. They have a chance to be the 6th seed.
Got it.
So right now, I need the Suns to win, so the Kings can lose, and Lakers can move up. Right. So I'm going with the Suns. I also think they're just the better team, so let's go Suns.
Carlos?
Man, y'all are really testing my knowledge with NBA. You know, I don't watch NBA too often. This is my first.
It's an exciting time for the NBA,
man.
Like, especially we're getting about into the playoffs. People are fighting back and forth for a spot.
Yeah, I'm like cold plunging into this, just guessing teams.
I like it.
But I mean, you brought up some interesting points of previous teams, but I mean, to be honest, I haven't really heard much about the Sacramento Kings. Like, it's always, you know, the Golden State Warriors, the Lakers.
Yeah.
You know, the Sacramento Kings is like, it's just like one of those teams. It's like Texas A&M. You just hear about them, but they're nothing too exciting. Or like OU.
Yeah, I get you. So where are you going with this on this one?
Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
I like that call.
Yeah. Listen, the Sacramento Kings have a lot of really good players. Sabonis is over there. De'Aaron Fox. There you go. They have some talent, but I don't think they match up with the Suns at all. I think the Suns are able to really play well, whether they're on the road or at home. So that factor is not going to be a big deal. And yeah, I mean, you in a team that has, you know, Devin Booker and KD, they're going to want to be able to go fast and quickly. So we'll go ahead and give it to the Suns on this one.
All right, we are now moving into some MLB and some NHL.
Yep.
Not two sports I don't know too much about, so I'm going to hop in with favorites.
Okay.
So
I like it.
I'm going to go with we have MLB, we have the Milwaukee Brewers, the Baltimore Orioles. I'm going to go with Baltimore.
Okay.
Baltimore as well, too.
Yeah, give me Baltimore. They've made some big time news, bringing up one of the best prospects in baseball from AAA. So I think he'll make an immediate impact. Give me the Oilers in this one.
All right, move on. We have the Rangers. Oh, here we go. This is a good one.
Hey,
we have the Rangers
Texas
at the
Showdown.
Astros. Now, the Astros, I don't want to talk about their season right now. It's been very disappointing.
It's been tough.
But I don't care. Not betting against them. They're at home. Let's do it. They've won a couple in a row. They beat the Rangers the last 2 times they played them. Let's go Stros. Give me the Stros.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard, my knowledge on MLB, the Houston Astros, you know, they had some controversies of them being called cheaters. whether that's true or false, that's up to y'all as a collective society.
Listen, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's
you know, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. So, and on top of that, the Rangers won the World Series.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have to go with Rangers.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go with the Rangers. Shout out to TJ and my main man Joseph back there, our broadcast partner. Yeah. They are big-time DFW fans, so I'm going to go with the Rangers on this one. They're just playing a lot of really good ball. I know the Astros took a couple 2 games, but I don't think they're able to get another one.
That's fair. Astros 7 years ago. Let's all move on. So let's go to we have our last MLB team. We have the Cubs at the Mariners.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Cubs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cubs as well. Shout out to Professor Butterworth, big time Cub fan. He's been talking a lot. I've been working with him a lot this semester. He's been talking a lot about the Cubs. He's very high on them right now. So I'm going to go with the Cubs to go ahead and take this one.
All right.
Carlos?
Same as the Cubs. We're all riding on the bandwagon tonight.
Let's do it.
Full sweep. Let's move on to some NHL games. We have the Winnipeg Jets at the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I'm going to say right now, I didn't even know those two teams existed. So I'm going to go with the Avalanche, though. So, I like the name better, so let's go with the Avalanche.
Ooh, I mean, that is a very insightful, thoughtful, handsome question, just like you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I got to say, you too, man.
Oh, okay.
You're very
For sure,
handsome.
for sure.
I got to say, yeah, of
going.
course. Winnipeg Jets, I feel like, Winnipeg, that's like, what, Canada, right?
Yeah.
Sounds just like Winnipeg. Where are you from? Winnipeg. Well, what's your team? The Winnipeg Jets.
Okay.
All
right.
The Colorado. I mean, I don't know. Like, who would win in a fight? An Avalanche or a Jet?
How would that ever be a fight?
These are questions we need to be asking here at TSTV Sports. But my choice, Winnipeg Jets.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go with the Avalanche. I really enjoyed their logo, A, and I like their colors a lot, B. So give me the Avalanche in this one, plus the Jets in the NFL. They're not good. So
here is our knowledge.
The name is going to transfer over to the bad luck that happened to the Jets earlier this season.
You heard it here first. Our NHL knowledge is based on logos, teams, and comparisons to other pro sports. So we'll move on to our last pickup of the day. This is a fun name.
I'm just
the
here for the pizza, bro.
Vancouver Canucks.
Trying to win the pizza.
I don't know what a Canuck is.
Okay.
I thought that was a racial slur for Canadians.
No, it's not. It's not. It just means somebody who is from Canada. As we are getting that knowledge from our main man, Ryan, in the back. Listen, I'm going to go. It's the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to go with the Canucks in this one. Listen, man. We're just going to try to move past that one because that was great. That's an all-time TSTV sports moment here at the 1-0 Sports Show. But, yeah, go ahead and give me the Canucks in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to... Wow. I'm gonna have to agree with the Canucks here just because I like the name. Move on to
I gotta go with the Edmonton Oilers. This reminds me a lot of the Houston Oilers when I lived back in Houston.
All right, see, here we go.
So I was actually back around when the Houston Oilers were still around. I was in my mother's womb. That was a joke, really, really bad joke. But I feel like the Vancouver Canucks. Like I say, that sounds like a racial slur. I don't condone racism. Racism is not cool.
It's just somebody from Canada.
That sounds like a racial slur. Okay, whatever. Edmonton Oilers. Final pick.
All right, cool.
That's it. So.
We have their picks in, man.
Wow. What an
Carlos,
ending.
go ahead and finish us off, brother.
That is it for us this morning. Thank you for joining us, and shout out to TJ in the back room. Shout out to TJ.
Sam. Shout out Sam for making everything run so smoothly.
Shout out Ryan.
Yep.
Appreciate Ryan.
Shout out Manny.
Shout out to Manny. And shout out to everyone who participates in TSTV and TSTV Sports.
And we appreciate you watching today, man.
Yeah. Make sure you tune in next week at 10 a.m. Make sure to check out our sister shows, College Press Box Monday nights at 9:30 p.m. And College Crossfire on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Have a good day and hook 'em.